Hi, dear students. Welcome to the online classes prepared and presented by Mr. Abdul Manaf, Assistant Professor, English Department. This class is meant for MA.English degree students under Calicut University. Today, let's discuss the poem Punishment by Seamus Heaney. Let's discuss the 11th stanza of the poem Punishment. Who would connive in civilized outrage, yet understand the exact and tribal intimate revenge? This is the last stanza of the poem. It continues with the message of the previous one. The tone of the poem shifts and becomes a sort of confession. You can see there is an element of confession in these lines. The lyrical voice refers to the barbarities or the barbarian tendencies of the modern world. It is given as civilized outrage and how to reverse them. Definitely, it is given as a tribal intimate revenge. Thus, the poem finishes with a dramatic message. Here, the poem ends with a dramatic message. As already mentioned, the poem is deeply related to historical events that happened in Ireland during the end of the 20th century. And here, Heaney recalls his own reactions and denounces of that particular time. How was it affected? Really, there is a dramatic message at the end of the poem. Moreover, the poem is deeply related to historical events. The events occurred in Ireland during the end of the 20th century. In this stanza, the speaker owns up, he says nothing, does nothing, but gets why the tribe has to carry out the revenges. It's the tribe's way of keeping control, keeping the power. How can we treat the atrocities? The lyrical voice here refers to the barbarities or the atrocities of the modern world, given their civilized outrage, and how reverse them tribal intimate revenge. So it's the way tribes keeping control, keeping the power. So the poem describes the punishment to the little adulteress. She committed the crime. As she committed the crime, she is being punished. But this kind of punishment is too much. How did they punish? She was stripped, she was shaved, blindfolded. When we read in history, we can say that this is not a special punishment for committing adultery, but for common to the tribes. So in short, we can say that North Sikhs, that means this work is featured in the work North, a poetry collection, as we know well. Punishment is taken from that collection, North. It was published in 1975. We discussed it earlier. What the work seeks for images. It seeks for images and symbols of the past to convey the violence and political conflicts of the end of the 20th century.